Hi, good morning everyone. Yes, it's quite early in the morning here. As most of you know, I have to do this as it's not my day job this. So I do it out of hours and mornings, evenings, weekends. Most of the time I've got spare basically. Anyway, so enough of my sob story. Right, what am I here for? Right, anyone who's been following the Brahma project will be aware of what I've been doing. I've been trying to build a 360 rig for people with normal budgets, okay, who are not professionals, not making thousands of pounds per job, but just want to get into the whole 360 video side of things. In other words, people who want to eventually make a career out of doing virtual reality video. I do, again, and I say this quite a lot, but I do want to honestly thank everyone who buys the rigs. Most of you are building the rigs based on Xiaomi cameras at the moment. And I wouldn't be able to do this without you lot. We've sold, getting on for probably 120 rigs at the moment. As you know, they're 3D printed and they're done on Shapeways. I'll put the links again on the video, and I intend continuing doing that. But the range has now had to expand. Now, the Xiaomi's are very good for 4K video. Okay, and they're a good budget camera. Now, when I say 4K, I'm not talking about the individual camera itself. I'm talking about the output for 360 video. So if you've got like a Brahma 6 or Brahma 7, which is obviously the 7 camera rig, you can get a really good quality 4K 360 equirectangular video output, which you can put on YouTube, headsets, whatever. A lot of people are using these and get some fantastic results. We also do a little duo, which is basically Theta-S quality. Now, the Theta-S I still think is a fantastic little device. Anyone who wants to experiment, and I've seen all of them. The resolution's not, it's not as high as everyone would like, but the output is very easy. Click, go. Fantastic little device. So for experimenting, they're absolutely wonderful. Anyway, so what I want to talk about today, though, is the evolution. We're moving into high resolution. Now, for some people, I honestly think this. For some people, this is pointless because at the moment we're limited to 4K output, which is viewed in obviously in Facebook or on YouTube with a little scroll around bar or in a virtual reality headset. Most mobile devices, most devices struggle to play above 4K. They are starting to. My machine here, which is a bit of a beast, it can go a bit higher, but it's still kind of struggling. But there is a future coming. There is a future not far away where higher than 4K is going to become very important, and this is why we're moving on with new cameras. The Xiaomi's will continue to sell. Okay, I'm not stopping the Xiaomi's because basically everything's been built on the Xiaomi's. There's still now I'm talking about the original Xiaomi Yi. There is, some people know there's a new version coming along, and it's looking a little bit expensive at the moment, but we'll see what transpires. That's not what this video is about. So let's get back onto this now. So at the moment, what we're doing at the moment is we're working with a company called Viofo. In fact, if I pull up their website so you can see it, because they make these nice little cameras. Okay, it's a small company in China. Well, actually, no, I don't know how big the company is. To be fair, I haven't got a clue. And they make these. They make some great products. The one obviously we're mostly interested in is obviously the Git 2s, which is the camera that we're using for the next stage, what's called the next evolution, call it what you like. The reason for this camera is I'll come back to, I'll clarify this statement in a second, but it's a 4K camera, okay, and it gives a 2880 by 2160 output. Now it does that, and this is kind of complex, right? It's a bit of a subject. So basically you've got this 2880 by 2160 mode, which is 24 frames a second. There's another mode which is 1920 1440p, which is 30 frames a second. Now that's the one I've actually been doing quite a lot of recording with, which is actually a good all-round mode. Now the original mode allows me to get up to 9.5K output at 24 frames a second, and around 6.5K output at 30 frames per second. Okay, now this is something that's really important, and I want to thank Philip Clem for pointing this out to me. As some of you, I'm just my head's down trying to get the designs done, working on the software, doing this, doing that, and I kind of missed this, that the Git 2 is not technically a true 4K sensor. Okay, now I'm still continuing with this because it's a great camera, okay, but it's not technically a 4K sensor. And if you look at that, it's based on the IMX Sony 206, and I think they use mode 2. As you can see here, this is the actual resolution, so it's 2304 by 1728, and they kind of base their resolutions around that. That's the maximum it can do in video mode. Now it's saying, yes, that's right. So it can do, ignore that because it actually comes out at 24, but so they are upscaling a bit. Now that's obviously if we're talking about the really high resolution mode and getting the 9.5K. So if you think they're probably upscaling the truth, and I want everyone to be aware of this. It's very important that you know the facts. Their quality mode is actually upscaled by about 15, say 20%. Okay. However, I scale it back by about 50-60%. So it's kind of swings and roundabouts, and you're still getting a great mode. And I think the key thing to bear in mind is what is the actual quality of the output. But I want people to be aware that the Git 2 cameras, which I'm going to show, are not true 4K sensors. Now, I'm obviously, if there's any consumers, you know, just general, just people playing, it's probably a bit more information than you need. But this is for I'm trying to aim this at the pro end of the spectrum, so they've got all the facts. But having said that, I think the results are absolutely stunning. In fact, I'll give you an example of. Let me just open up a file. Which one's this? Brahma 6K. Brahma 6. Well, let's just. I'll just open up this video here so you can see it.
Okay, this
Right,
is the test
sound.
for the
You don't wanna hear
new
me.
Brahma 6 Plus.
Sorry, right, there you go. Right, you can see the quality. Now this is recorded. I've had to compress this down to 4K, and of course, I've only got a 1080p TV, which has been. Trust me, this is the thing you can see on the YouTube video, and the quality is pretty amazing. Now, as I said, we're going way past. I'll open that one up again. Actually, we're going way past 9K, so it's kind of a balancing act now. So if you can see this, I'll open this right up so you can see it. Now I'm actually only running this at 1440. It's not running it even at 4K, but you get a feel for. If it's jerky, it's because my GPU is having to stream this and build this video that I'm watching because everything's done live. But you can see the quality. If you go, I urge you to go and have a look at it. It's still not as good as the the YouTube tends to degrade the quality a bit, as probably most of you know. But the video quality is actually quite amazing on this, and I'm very impressed. So I'm very confident to say that these cameras are going to give people some fantastic output. Now, I will very briefly mention the next range. Now, I always shoot myself in the foot. Okay, so when I was doing the Xiaomi's, as soon as I started talking about the Git 2 rigs, the Xiaomi rigs kind of fell off a cliff. So, but that I'm not doing this for money. As you know, this is not my day job, hence why I'm outside of hours out of time doing this. But I forgot my thread. Right, so I don't do this for my day job, but so let's get on with the Xiaomi. So the Xiaomi, right? There's a new Xiaomi coming, which is basically, obviously, now I'm trying to tell you all about this wonderful new Git 2 rigs, and I'm talking about the Xiaomi cameras. But it's important for you to know, you know, what's coming. So the new Xiaomi 2s, they are true 4K cameras. I checked; they're based on the Sony IMX 377 chipset. As you can see here, they're actually quoting me 30 frames per second 4K, but it's saying it's potentially capable of 60 here. So there's probably room for some movement. Maybe the chip, the CPU you're using is not quick enough. But anyway, so the Xiaomi 2 will be true 4K. We will be doing a rig for it. It's obvious. The same as you notice, we do a two-way, a 6 and a 7. That's going to continue. I've got that in there with the Xiaomi Yi. I've got it with the Git 2, and I'm going to do the same thing with the Xiaomi 2. So that same range will come along. But I want you to be aware it's coming. So if you're thinking, if you're hopefully you're not one of the people, oh, I've got to have the next one and then the next one and the next one. But I want you to be able to pick what's good for you. Now, bearing in mind, I have a feeling the cameras, from what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing, the new Sony cameras will be twice the price of the Git 2. So the prices I'm going to give you for the Brahma range will double, okay, for another 20% resolution performance, which is way above what people can play. So I think all in all, the Git 2s may well be the best. At the moment, I think for quality reasons, they may be the best all-round, balance between cost, performance, quality. I think they may well just edge it. Having said that, they're doing a Xiaomi a Git 3 as well, typical on that. So anyway, but I think this is going to be the next one. Hence me doing this video and waffling on for hours about it. Right, let's get to the crunch of this. Right, what do you get? So the good news and the bad news you've had about the Git 2. So I want you to know everything. I still think I'm as excited about the Git 2s as I was about the original Xiaomi. And to be honest, I don't think you can go wrong with this. Right, so now what we do now is that, well, in the past you've always built your own. You've gone to Shapeways, you've gone to my order page, and which is still there, and you've ordered it yourself. You order the rig from the Shapeways, and you get your cameras in from China, and you put all the bits together, and you download the files and all that kind of thing, and you build the rig. And you can still build a cube rig. I think most people can build their own rig for about £400 or £500, complete with the cameras, which is still phenomenally cheaper than you can do with any other. You still sadly have to buy the color software. Well, no, not sadly. It's a great piece of software. I love it. I think it's a fantastic piece of software. But anyway, but now we decided we're going to build these rigs. Well, it's not me. It's my wife's going to be building them. Under my guidance, obviously, because I haven't got time to be doing this. So you're going to notice if you start messaging me more, you may be getting responses from Caroline, because I'm really struggling now. So many messages coming through. I find it difficult to do everything, and obviously I have to pay the bills. So right, so okay. Now what we're going to do, we're going to ship these rigs out, and this is pretty much there's a choice at the moment, because obviously all the Brahma 6s and the well, we call them we call them the ProRes, this range. The reason for that, I'm not calling it the Pro, we're calling it ProRes. That's because it's got a Pro resolution, okay? It's a much higher resolution. But they're going to come out shipped in the 6 and 7 are definitely going to get shipped in a bag like this. Now I've actually got, hopefully, as long as they're the same, I've got another range of bags with without the branding on, because these actually have Canon written on them. They turn up with it. So I think I've got some coming in. But anyway, you may find, just to get these out the door, the early ones, you may actually find they're a bit more expensive with the branding, obviously. But I've got them come from China without it. You may find yours come with Canon on it. I do apologise, but I don't think that's the end of the world. Right, so they come in a nice bag, and so if I open this up, I will turn it round. In fact, let's go full screen. Yeah, that'd be a good idea, wouldn't it? There we go. Right, so we've got this. It's a nice strong bag, and it's got lots of pockets. Yeah, loads of pockets. Well, you can see you've got loads of pockets, and I've kept the colour scheme, because now all the rigs that I sell direct are going to be red. Now, if you want another colour, okay, because I'm going for a branded scheming kind of thing, they're all going to be red. But if you want another colour, you can order it in the other colours, but it will take longer. and there may be an extra charge because we have to pay to get them shipped. So there may be an extra £10 charge. Probably will be a £10 charge if you want a different colour. But I actually like the red, so you know, there you go. Right. So if you can see in here, okay, what we've got is obviously there's cameras. There's a carrying strap. There's a little plastic bag that you can wrap round this and protects the bag if you're in bad weather. It comes with all your cables. So obviously there's a whole lot of cables, right? Now these come in the box, and you don't need to put them in here. Just to show you. Obviously, I will send all the Git 2 boxes as well that come with the cameras, because, say for example, you want to upgrade another stand, you want to sell the camera separately. You've got the boxes in there. You can sell them separately. There's your carrying case and so on. What you can obviously rearrange your bag how you want it, but there's zips up here so you can put different memory cards. All the rigs will come with 16 gig cards. I know people say, well, why we want more? You can just buy buy more. I may do an option for 64 gig later on, but they're going to come out with 16 gig because that's about an hour's recording or something. It's a fair bit recording, especially when you get used to it. But it allows me to meet certain costs, and because obviously I can't stocking stuff is obviously a bit of a problem. So there you go. Right, so take out your rig. Okay, and let's put the bag over here. Right. So this is the new rig. Now this is the prototype, funny enough, and all the stuff I've been doing with it has been done on this prototype. You can see it's got Brahma written down the side. I don't know if you can see that or not. It works really well. I've got some tweaks to do before anyone gets it. They'll be getting the finished version, but it's minor tweaks, funny enough, nothing serious at all. But the good thing about this is that you can probably see here is everything's clip in now. Now I'm going to have to do them. I don't know if it's actually going to help. Right, I don't think see. Let me see if I put this. Let me just see if I switch over to this camera. Hang on a second. I'm just going to. Is it that one? Yeah, right. Okay. So if I do that, is this going to help? Right. So I've got two clips here. Yeah, and I just undo that one, and I push the camera out. I mean, it's a simple. Oh, let's go back. I don't think that's going to really help you, do you? Is it that one? Yeah. Right, so they just pop out. Now you notice these cameras come with a little cover, which is quite nice. But they go in just as easily. There's little indentations in the side for the buttons, because obviously we've had to allow for the buttons. They've all got screens in the back of these as well, which again is quite handy. You can definitely tell if it's on. But when you want to pop it in, I mean, literally all you do is you just go like that. It's actually hard to do it one-handed, to be fair, and then guide it in, click. Do you hear that nice little satisfying click? And it's fitted. That's it. This piece at the bottom, ignore that, it doesn't come with that, but it does come with the little black piece there. That's the adapter, and it comes with that fitted, as you can see on the other version, which is the Brahma 7. Okay, so this is the 7, right? And as you can see the adapter on the base, and this is the duet. Okay, and again on the base, the screw on base. Now I'll be doing separate videos for each of these to explain, you know, the bits and pieces about them. Okay, so I won't go into it now, but the key thing about them all is that they're clip-on, so the cameras just clip on. Now this is obviously this is the original Cube design, and it works brilliantly. The stitching, usual thing with cubes, the stitching, but the fact of the huge resolution helps. You do get pretty damn good stitching. As you've seen with my videos, I never do the stitchings, partly because I want you to see what it's like for anyone just to literally just drop the videos in there, but also I lack the time to be able to go through and do all these as well. So a lot of people, you can spend a little bit of time just fine-tuning it, and you can get yourself a really nice stitch. Right, so so that's the 6. Okay, now the 7, as you probably should be aware by now, the idea of the 7 is to give vertical stitching. Okay, so whereas the Cube, all the stitching's at an angle like that, with this the stitching is vertical except for the top, but basically all around here, and it's brilliant for studio situations. Okay, and it's also, now we've designed, this is slightly different to the original Brahma 7, because one of our customers and friends, Tony Woodhouse, runs a company called Hexascope. He's got both rigs, and what he does, his favourite is the 7 Brahma 7 for the Xiaomi. And what he does is he actually puts another 2 cameras on it. So what I've done is I've modified this to help. So basically, by default, there's 5 cameras around here, 2 on top, and then when you finish, you get a hole at the bottom which you patch. It's called a nadir, and I actually like the nadirs. All right, I think they're actually quite useful because you can use them as advertising. You know, you can put down there what people are watching. You know, it's a really nice little board. Or you can just take a photo of the ground that it's on and patch it with that. I mean, that's another thing you can do. But it does give very nice vertical seams, which are really good. Now, what I've also done, of course, is, so if you were to mount this up this way, okay, now it does mean your cameras are pointing up. Now, the original one, that you can angle them, and I'm considering changing this slightly. But you can put a camera on here, on the top instead, have 2 at the base and 2 on the top. I mean, you ended up getting into territory probably more of the 6, to be fair, but I mean, this is what Tony does. Now, personally, I think this is why we're not really doing that. This is just a potential for people, but I think for most people, the 6 and the 7 are spot on. And a lot of people buy 7 cameras and 2 rigs. Okay, then they've got the choice of what they're going to do that day. If they want to take the cube out with them, they can go out with the cube. And if they want to work in a studio, just they want the vertical seams, they can use it with the 7. So, and they don't cost an awful lot, the rigs. I mean, these are more expensive now because you can use an awful lot of material on these, and they are. You know, I get people saying, "Oh, they're really expensive to print." You know, try making that. I've actually been to manufacturers, right? I've been to manufacturers and I've said to them, "Can you inject your mould?" I had a Chinese manufacturer approach me about this and said, "We think we could do some work with you." Okay, fine. I sent the design, and they went. And this wasn't even this one. This was the original Brahma 6 cube. Can't make it. All right, they just can't make it. They're very complex. But look, you know, that is fantastic. But you know, it's not a cheap process. But I don't. Having said that, in the big scheme of things, that's peanuts. Anyway. Right, so that's the rigs. Oh yeah, let me just show you. I've got on here. Let me just show you this. I've loaded onto my site, and I'll put the link here again. I've got this thing called the product comparison chart. So let me scroll down. As it says, if you're on a mobile, turn it sideways. Okay, so you can see the range. Now I've hidden off here the Brahma Extreme because I didn't have room, and to be fair, it's a fantastic little rig. But it's kind of a bit specialised. So the old Duo, the Brahma 6, these are the 3 Xiaomis, obviously, on the top here on the left, and the new ones. Now, what I've tried to do is give you all the information in one chart. So as you can see, I've got the standalone rig price. I'm not doing the Git2s as standalone rigs. They're coming complete, so I'm shipping it because I think. If you're trying to keep costs down and you want 4K, you can just do this with the Xiaomi range, okay, and that keeps the cost down. But there's another level of users that just want the rig delivered complete and don't want to muck about, and so you know we've been talked into doing this. So we're going to build these rigs now. All the rigs we ship, as I said, will be red. However, which goes nice with the black, obviously. But again, I will do different colours if people want them. It will take longer. That's all. So we've got here a chart of everything. So self-build. Now, as you can see here, I've got 2 prices for the Brahma 6 and 7. We'll build them. We will focus them so we get the cameras in. This is the original Xiaomi Yi, not the new one. The original. So bear in mind, it's costing you an extra couple of £100 for us to do this. Okay, over the top. That's because we have import duties, VAT, Christ knows what else, and then there's time to build rigs. So you know, if you want to do it yourself, by all means, yeah, we're more than happy if you do it. We love the fact that people do it and build it themselves, but we do get asked this, and it means that we can focus them, get them right, and you know, ship them out to people. And then we come on to the Duet. And the Duet's gone up a little bit, 30 quid, just to because I think the pricing was a little bit tight because I'm a bit worried about fluctuations in exchange rate. Anyone who I've already quoted 399, if you get the orders in this month, I mean basically I'm going to talk about that in a second, but if you get those orders in confirmed, I'll honour the 399. But they gave me 429 as we build them. And again, they're coming with a big bag. But to be fair, hang on. Let's see, it's my 8 o'clock alarm to wake me, get me up. Hang on a second. How professional. Right. This was the other option for the a bag for the Brahma Duo, which fits in there nicely. And you just lock it up. Having said that, I know people when they go out and they do shoots, they carry loads of bits and pieces. So I'm still thinking about I'm probably going to send it with a big bag, okay? And because I think it's more useful to people, and it's easier for us for stock control as well because we can just hold one bag and ship everything out in one bag. So yeah, that's the little bag. Anyway, so yes, where was I? Again, I'm losing my mind here. Right, so this chart will give you all the information you need. It's maximum. Now I've put on here now I've got to hit the bottom here. Good photo rig. Okay, that doesn't mean that now you notice I put the Brahma 6 and Brahma 7, the original Xiaomi ones, as good photo rigs. It doesn't mean that the Git 2s can't take photos. They do great photos. The problem at the moment is I'm waiting. Well, with the Xiaomis we have, and this is a very important point. The Xiaomis we have control software that John wrote, and also we have some software that I've written, which has come in, which has got some really nice stuff in it. And I haven't got time at the moment to show you, but you should have seen this on another video. At the moment, it won't work on the Git 2, and I can't guarantee that it will run on the Git 2. Very important to understand. They have said, and they've been as good to the word, they did do the screen mode. They have said that they're going to make the changes, but there's some quite fundamental changes they have to write for their firmware before I can use the software control. At the moment, these are manual rigs. Turn them on, turn them all on, walk back. So the reason why I say about the photo side of things, with the Brahma 6 and the Xiaomi, our software controls them. So you set them all up and you connect all the cameras up, and then you can stand back and you can press capture, take a photo, and it flashes all 6 cameras or 7 cameras at once. Okay. The software is not available for the Git 2s, so unless you got the Duo, then there is a timer. Just so you're aware, there is a timer built into the cameras on these, so you can set anything up to I think 30 seconds timer. So you could just set the default timer for a snapshot and then go around, press all the buttons, and then get out of the way. And that will work for photos where everything around doesn't move. But of course, if everything moves, the shot's ruined, obviously. So just bear that in mind. That's why I say that's why I put that in there. And also the resolution of the camera side of things is identical to the Xiaomi E because they're using pretty much the same sensor, which is, or there's a slightly different version of it, but it's quite similar sensor. So it's a 16 megapixel photo it takes. So at the end of the day, they're pretty much identical on that side, on the photo side. Anyway, so there's that chart. So if you want to go and have a look at that chart, the prices, as I've said before, here's what you get. There's a Brahma 6, Brahma 7. Now that picture, to be honest, is probably going to come with these bags. So I'm probably going to change that picture. And then of course the original range, which the original range will still work. And there's the Brahma Extreme. So that's the introduction to here. What was I going to show you? Anything else? No, I think I've shown you everything. That's the introduction for the Brahma 6. Again, thank you very much for supporting this project. One day, you never know, I might be able to make a living out of it, but I'm not expecting to. I just think it's a nice hobby, and it's fascinating. But having said that, for my software is, I will do a separate video on the software because I've already shown it once. But it's got some nice features, and if the Git 2 boys actually do their firmware changes, then you will be able to do it with that. But they it's a lot of work they've got to do, so we'll see what they come up with. But for the time being, the Git 2s are manual, okay? And I'm not promising anything with the software because it's not. I'm not in control of it. I guess that's it. Thanks very much for the time, and you'll probably end up following straight into another video after this, which is the individual products and how you use them. But again, thanks. Yeah. Right, so anyway, at the end, thanks very much. I hope it's been helpful, and I look forward to talking to you soon. If I can stop this.